Good morning, Wildcats. I want to talk to you today about something very, very important to the ninth grade academy, which is our culture, our school climate, if you will. And I'll explain what that is in just a second. Yesterday during C25, you watched the discipline video that was presented to you by Dr. Gravitt, who's our discipline coordinator. I wanted you to hear a talk about discipline from me too, because if you ever make a decision that might not be great and we have to have a discipline conversation, it's going to be with me in my office. I own all of the ninth graders for discipline. So I wanted to bring you a message of my own. We are very proud of the culture that we have in the ninth grade academy, and that is one of caring, of respect, of kindness. We have an environment that is orderly, that is peaceful, that is structured. And the reason that we work really hard on maintaining that is because we need to keep you safe and we need to make sure that you learn. I had your parents here with me for the Wildcat experience, and I had almost 500 of your parents in the theater. And when I asked them what they needed and what they needed to make sure that I promised them every day was, number one, that you're safe, and number two, that you can learn and that teachers can teach. And the way that we do that is by having policies and procedures in place that keep things calm. If we had a party up in here every day and everyone just did whatever they want and it was really loosey-goosey, you would not be safe and you would not be able to learn because your teachers wouldn't be able to teach. So it's really important that we all follow the rules so that school can be happy and the grades can be the most important part of our day, not drama and not issues, okay? So I'm going to go over a couple of little things and then some big things at the end. Little things, which can easily become big things, are tardies and AWOLs. In the ninth grade academy, we are super strict about tardies and AWOLs. You have 7 minutes to get to class. There is no reason to be late. Even if you're coming from far away, you can still make it. I've done it. I've tested it. It's doable. Sometimes you don't have time to talk to your friends or check your phone or stop and hug somebody. But if you hustle, you can make it. The teachers have been told to close the door at the bell. Even if you're 2 steps away, they are going to close the door at the bell. And those were my directions to them. So make sure that you're in class, in your seat, ready to learn. If you get 7 tardies, you're going to start getting restricted lunch. Once we get to 11 tardies, you're going to get more restricted lunch, and it's going to go up and up and up to Wednesday school, Saturday school, and then ISS. And once we get to that point, guys, you're missing class and your grades suffer. No excuse for tardies, just don't be late. Second thing is AWOLs. We check AWOLs every single day. If you happen to miss a class one day, we will know by the very next day and you will get called in for discipline. That's the lunch bell. It's over. Cool. So you're going to get called in for discipline if you have any AWOLs. We will know, and that's another thing that will quickly turn into ISS. So just don't do it. We're going to find out. Then there's this issue of cell phones. Seems little, but it's not. Your teachers cannot teach if all of you are glued to your phones checking your Snap stories or your Instagram posts during class. So those phones need to be out of sight, in a book bag, in your pocket, on vibrate, or on silent. Silent is better because if it vibrates, you're going to be super tempted to check that notification. And if you do have your phone out during class and you don't have your teacher's permission, your teacher's going to say, "I need your phone, please." And then your teacher's going to bring me your phone and I'm going to keep it for 48 hours and then I'm going to assign you 2 days of restricted lunch. That's the easy way to do it. The hard way to do it is if your teacher says, "Give me your phone, please," and you put up some kind of argument or you do some back talk or you say something like, "You can't take my phone, you don't pay for my phone," or something crazy like that, then it's going to turn into a discipline referral for rude conduct or for failure to follow directions. So best bet is to just keep your phone out of sight. It will greatly reduce the stress in your life because I promise you when I hold your phone for 48 hours, those are a miserable 48 hours. Keep your phones put up. One last thing about phones. If they're not put up, the chances of them getting stolen or lost are very high. And we do not spend school time tracking down lost or stolen phones. I have dried so many tears for kids in this office who have lost their cell phones or who have had them stolen. So another way to keep it safe is to keep it completely put away. Now we're gonna get to the big stuff. The reason that we have such a great culture up here and we have so much fun during school is that we love you. We treat you with kindness. We love being here. We have fun with you. We respect you, and we will always treat you the way that we would treat our own kids. You are going to treat us the very same way. Your teachers are here for you. They're here to make sure you graduate in 2021. They are the bosses of their classrooms. What your teachers ask you to do is reasonable, and the expectation is that you're going to follow their directions the first time, and that you're always going to talk to them in a kind and respectful way. So far, that's all I've seen in classrooms, and I haven't heard otherwise yet from any teachers. So keep it up, and everything is going to be great. But we will not tolerate any sort of ugliness to your teachers because we don't treat you that way, and that's not the way to do life. Big thing is fighting. I have zero tolerance for fighting, zero. And the reason I have zero tolerance for fighting is that you have Mr. Lisenby, you have me, you have Miss Y, who sits right outside my office, and you have all these teachers who are super caring. And those are all people that you can go to if you have a conflict, or if you have some sort of drama going on with a friend, or you fear that something might be starting up. You go to them, we help you through it like grown-ups. If you resort to fighting instead of using all those tools, I just have no time for it, and you're going to go to a discipline hearing, and you're going to finish out your 9th grade year at the Gibbs Center. So absolutely not going to have that happen at all in 9th grade this year. The most important thing I can tell you is this. I don't know your discipline history. I could sit here after school every day and look at the kids who have a lot of incidents from middle school so that I can be aware of who had a tough time in middle school. I don't do it. It's just not the way that I operate. When you came to school this past Monday, to me, you were a blank slate, a fresh start, a brand new kid with no history. If you had a tough middle school year, if you made some bad choices, if you have a long discipline history, you don't have to let that define you. That doesn't have to be you anymore. You get to come here and be a completely different person and start again with nobody judging you for something that you may have done in the past. So take advantage of that and make this a brand new opportunity for yourself. We believe the best about every single one of you, and most of the time you guys show us your very best. So trust that we're here to love on you. Trust that we will act swiftly if you break some rules, and trust that because of that, we're going to have a really peaceful and awesome year where you learn a lot. Have a great day.